Hey, Flying Garter is here live at Starland Balloon tonight for Skanksgiving. Before I even tell you who we're interviewing, I just want to tell you how I started to like this band. Back in the 90s, when I was going to see cover bands at the Jersey Shore.
Down the shore?
Down the shore. There was a cover band, Fuzzy Bunny Slippers, and they had a horn section, and they were playing this song. And I said, shit, what is that song? He said, that is Here in Your Bedroom by Goldfinger. And I instantly fell in love, ran to vintage vinyl, started buying all the CDs. And here I am, almost 30 years later, still a huge fan. And tonight, we are so privileged to interview Charlie and Phil, or Moon Jean, from the band.
Moon Jean, I just met a girl named Blue Jean. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know the words.
There's more songs about Charlie's.
Oh yeah, there are.
So first of all, thank you guys for agreeing to do this. This is fucking awesome. So what did you think of the show tonight?
Starland's always fun, man. The crowds are good. We tried a whole bunch of new stuff today, so it's probably not a fair assessment for us to like judge the show because we were so focused on like, does this song work here? Should we open with this one or something different? Like we were really experimenting tonight, so our heads were kind of in two different places. This crowd, the reason that we tried all that new shit is because Starland always brings it. It's always fun. Yep. It's always like a great way to like close the year if it's the last show of the year for us. And I don't know, man, it doesn't get much better than coming up here, except for there's such a lack of food to eat around here. That's the only thing I've been thinking about all day. The show
IHOP is trash.
The show is always like the last thing that I worry about because it's always good. It's always good.
Okay, cool. So I know you've been in the band for a very long time, from the beginning, and you have not, right? So what do you? But you've been in it for a long time. However,
I've quit 3 times.
I know it.
So if you add up all the time together, we've probably been in the band the same amount of time.
Yeah. You've been in for a while.
2011, so I'm rounding 14 years.
Yeah.
So I'm catching it.
Yeah, for sure.
We're about the same.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But, so what, you guys been around for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's 30 years at this point.
Fuck off!
What do you think makes the band still popular and credits to the longevity of the band?
Sorry about that. We stole your dressing room to do an interview.
Just total. We were talking about this earlier.
I have a definitive answer for this. We're a good live band.
I will agree 100%.
Because if you think about when our first couple records came out and we were on the radio and all that shit, there was a lot of bands around that time that like, you know, also had songs on the radio and shit like that and sold a lot more records than we did. And now they can't sell fucking 50 people ain't going to come out and hear them play their single from 1996.
Right.
We always were just relentless as far as showing up and playing and really putting on a good show has always been really fucking important to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why, you know what I mean? Yeah. We've built a trust with the people that listen to our records and come to our shows. They know if they're coming. They know we give a shit.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a fair?
I say that 100%. That is the correct answer. And even just being like, so, well, when Charlie quit in 2000, whatever it was, 1 or 2 or 3, that's when I first toured with Goldfinger. Not in Goldfinger, but like my band opened for Goldfinger. And we were the crazy like 21-year-old backflippers and like we were throwing our guitars and doing all this stuff. We had the live show that everybody usually had to beat. And when we toured with Goldfinger, they were already 10 years our senior at that point, and they were making us work harder, like as a live band. So that was then, and nothing has changed. Even when I got in it, I was like, God, dude, John's still running laps up here, dude. He's still running laps. Yeah. So it keeps us all going, and you see a lot of like people bringing friends, people bringing their kids, like younger folks, and it's one of those shows that people can bring somebody to, even if you only know 1 song or 2 songs, and the energy sustains you for the hour and a half. And like you said, dude, a lot of bands can't pull that. They'll come up there and they look like half of themselves and they're tired and they play 1 song, you know, and the rest of it's cool.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like, when you guys are on stage, it can take me right back to the 90s when I used to see you. Like, it's still so full of energy and the music is just good. And, like, you know the words and you want to sing along. It's good, happy, fun music, right? And what's cool is like you said, you see people my age. I'm about to turn 50, and people older.
Really?
You're not gonna
You look
50,
fucking
no way,
great.
dude. What vitamins are you taking?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, I'm admiring your Susie Sue eyebrows.
Thank you.
Are you also 50?
No,
What am I
I'm
on?
44.
She's a baby.
Okay.
She's a baby.
Oh, I don't.
So, but it's cool because I have a 13-year-old daughter, and she likes you guys too. And there's even younger kids. So what I was saying, it's like really cool.
I got
to see the
in a
kids.
fight in your basketball jersey once.
Well, I hope you kick his fucking ass.
It didn't last long, but I was wearing we played some free show at USC in like 99, maybe 2000.
Yeah.
And I played in the black basketball jersey you guys had at the time. Had nothing to do with your jersey, but like I got off stage and like I wound up getting into it with some dude, and I cracked him a couple times, and then USC security broke it up. But yeah, I will
How's the jersey? Is it still in good condition?
Yeah, I still have it, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, I got you. Yo, have a good day.
All right, brother.
Happy
I got you.
holidays.
It's great seeing you, Charlie, man.
Thank you so much.
Take it
I told
easy,
you,
man.
You're the fucking best.
Oh.
Appreciate you.
Best.
Appreciate you.
I won't keep you guys much longer. Just a couple more questions.
Dude, we can't go anywhere until JJ comes back anyway.
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys
okay.
suck.
Or maybe you guys will take us somewhere good to eat.
Now
Not fucking IHOP.
they're open now, like legit nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, it's Jersey. It's Saturday night. There's gotta be diners
The
open.
fucking diners that are open are like an
Trash.
hour away in North Jersey.
No way. Where was that place we went to last night?
I didn't go.
Oh, that's right. Phil's worried about his weight. Can you believe that?
What?
Look how handsome this motherfucker
Stop
is.
it.
I got a goal, guys. I got a goal. I gotta stick to it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
I already lost 12 pounds. Aren't you proud of me?
On stage tonight?
All right. I know we talked a little bit about this before, but what is like your favorite Goldfinger songs to play on stage?
That changes. Man, you want to say something like "Here in Your Bedroom" or Superman, of course. Recently, it's been Superman just because Tony's joined us a few times.
I know.
So that's been really special.
Tony Hawk, people.
Oh
Yeah.
Yes, Sir Tony Hawk. We're on a first name basis now. So, anyways, I would say that has become a recent favorite.
I wish he was Maya Hawke's dad. But Maya Hawke's dad is Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Because if Tony Hawk was Maya Hawke's dad, she would come to shows.
That's Hawk with an E, right?
I know, and I would propose to her.
Oh, really?
Oh.
You just want to be in Ethan's family?
No, I will marry literally anybody that was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, good.
Number one being Mikey Madison, but she's pretty young. Yeah.
Shoot, what's my favorite song to play? What's your favorite song to play right now?
Tonight it was my head.
Okay.
That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like the heavier shit. I like
Yeah.
the faster stuff.
It changes a lot.
Okay.
And and this will prove my point. This is not good to say on camera. This is not good to say.
We can cut it.
But I've got balls, and I'm gonna just say it. I really don't like Linoleum. I don't like that song.
Oh.
It's not my thing. And it was my favorite song.
By the way, I fucking pulled the octave harmony shit out of my ass. Did you do it too?
I did it too. You told me to do it.
Yeah, but you were so over. You had so much on your fucking plate. I'm like,
I'm a professional.
We started and the drums kick in, and I'm like, it's got to start on a major third. So I just.
It's we C E.
Oh. It's not C.
It is.
It's C sharp.
Well, no, it's C in our tuning.
It's C sharp position.
No, it's C in our position. Did you play C sharp? We were clanking all over there.
Oh, I bet that sounded really punk.
Well,
Oh no!
I had
You
a
played
blast
it. I
playing
loved
that
it.
song.
Yeah, I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I'm doing it because we didn't.
I've never heard you play Linoleum before.
we've only done it once, and we only did half of it.
Okay.
It was at a Punk and Drug, remember when they got booted? After the Vegas thing?
Yes.
So we did it there, like halvesies, and I didn't really know it then. And this time, there's some weird turns on it,
Mhm.
and we did it once, like a half of once in sound check, and it was like, whatever. And like I said, it's not my favorite song, so tonight I wasn't expecting anything from it.
Yeah.
And we killed it. I
Oh my
thought
God,
we sounded
the
great,
crowd
and the crowd was
They went
crazy.
nuts.
Oh, let me ask you guys a
So-
question. You guys live in Jersey, right?
Yes.
Did you understand why we came out to Black Parade?
No.
But
No.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Bob passed away.
Bob just died, the drummer,
Oh.
and they're a Jersey band,
We found out.
so we were kind of showing respect.
Like, when
That was
he
like a
passed
little
away.
tribute to him. Yeah.
They found him the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh God, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. So that was a tribute.
Cause undetermined, but they're pretty sure they know what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, super sad.
Well,
But that's nice.
I
that
hope
you did that,
I hope
so-
somebody understood why we did that.
I
If
don't
they
know.
don't tonight, they're
They'll
They're
it's gonna
gonna know.
click in 3 days and they go.
Yeah, when they see it all.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I think
He was a fucking ripper too. I've seen them with 3 different drummers, and nobody comes close to that dude. He was so fucking
It's so
good.
funny. We met him when he was tour manager and a sound guy on our first tour, and he like took us under his wing. He actually got shot at. We all got shot at in San Francisco at like our 3rd show or something with him, and we had no idea that he played drums, and we had known him for multiple tours.
Yeah.
And Mike Kim was on that tour. That's where he met him. And then
Really?
yeah, that's where he met.
That's crazy.
On that tour, it was us. It was Mike Kim opened, then us, then Thrice, then the Used, and Bob was the Used sound guy.
That
We all
must have been a
met-
pretty big tour.
It was a decent size. It
Like-
was such a bill, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was decent size. Like we played. What's that place in Rhode Island?
Lupos?
Lupos, yeah, like
Yeah.
the old Lupos. It was like that.
Oh, the
size,
big
but
Lupos.
Not sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't sold out. But
Wasn't so with those 4 fucking bands.
This was 2003, man.
Still.
April 03.
Oh, so it was just a. Okay, so I have a funny
We didn't have a
My
record
Chemical
out.
Romance story.
Mike Kim had an eyeball record out.
I went to see Face to Face at the House of Blues in LA because they're old friends, whatever. And I knew some people on their crew, so I went down early to hang out, sound check, and go get lunch, whatever. And this band, there's like these 5, 6 goth girls waiting early. They'd been there all day, camped out, waiting to get in. And I was like, Face to Face does not draw people with style. Their crowd is basically, Social Distortion, Orange County punk types. And I'm like, why are you guys here? And they said, Mike M. And I'm like, who? And I thought they were saying Mike M. I didn't know. And then, so I'm hanging out in the the loading area, and this van pulls up, and these, like in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, these 5 kids spill out of it, and they stunk.
Yeah, Gerard smelled
They
so
smelled
bad.
so bad, and they were like funny, and I was like, oh, My Chemical Romance. I'm like, your name is too long, because this was at the very beginning of really long emo names.
Sorry.
And I was hanging out, and I watched them play, and they were what they are, in front of basically a Social Distortion crowd, a Pennywise crowd, if you can imagine that.
Yeah.
People were flipping him off and spitting at him, and Gerard just gave it right back. And me and a couple of Face to Face guys were like, these dudes are no joke. They're like for
They were
real.
awesome.
And they played well. They were tight, and I was like, respect. You know what I mean? And because it was not their crowd, and they didn't give a shit. And then afterwards, they're up in the backstage area, and they're like, "Are you Charlie?" I said, "Yeah." They're like, "From Goldfinger?" I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh shit!" And like, they were a baby band, you know what I mean, from Jersey, so they knew who we were, and they were really cool kids. And I found out that night that they were having a contest to see who could go the longest on the tour without showering, which is why they stunk so bad. Years later, after the Black Parade, we play on a festival with them, and they were the biggest fucking band in the world. And they were like, dude, they were all on the side of the stage watching us play. They were still those like down-ass kids from New Jersey. Still totally humble,
Yeah, they still
totally
are.
fucking cool. So that band has my infinite respect.
They still are.
Yeah.
Was Bob in the
That's
band
really
that first
cool.
time you saw him?
Yeah. No, he wasn't. It was the first
It was
drummer.
Otter.
Otter, is that was his name?
Otter was, yeah, his name.
Otter Pop?
Otter was a nice dude. Yeah, that's wild times.
Next question.
That was a cool story.
Yeah, just
Thank you for
reveal our
sharing
age.
that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people become familiar with Goldfinger because of pop culture, right? Most notably what we said before, Tony Hawk and his video games and
Well, in the 90s and early 2000s, we were also the soundtrack. We were on every fucking teen movie.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
multiple
I mean,
movies.
yeah.
And, like how do you feel about your influence in pop culture, like video games and films?
I think the only real influence we've had outsized would be Superman from Tony Hawk. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody is listening to the soundtrack from Basketball.
I mean, Beer's a good song.
Beer's a great song, but I think people don't necessarily know it from that, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'll say this though. There was not just Goldfinger, but No Doubt and Real Big and like a couple others in that period, because of the influence in pop culture or the acceptance in pop culture, video games, movies, and soundtracks and all that. It let it live. It like gave it, in a weird way, it was the end. So like the 90s, you know, like in the 80s and the 90s, bands, cool bands were like, you know, if Nirvana took a Pepsi commercial, everybody would be like, fuck Nirvana, right? Like, you know, it was all about, that's for Michael Jackson and Mariah Carey, that's not like a Nirvana thing, whatever. And then this like underground kind of pop culture, like funny movies and ridiculous, you know, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, badass video games, like this new wave of like tech and cool and more underground stuff, but it was still massive, but like an underground feel for us kids. Took a lot of cool ass music from the late 90s and gave it a place where it made sense for the masses and kind of like, I don't know, like let it stick. I'm not sure. I don't know where our pop culture would be if it wasn't cool about like punk and ska and that vibe and that time. And I don't know if punk and ska would be cool if the pop culture didn't accept it in the same way. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like
what a very scholarly answer.
But you know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, like that era was
Sort
a
of.
very big shift.
Yeah.
From that weird early 90s, like, do we hate glam metal? Okay, you know, like, oh, we don't want to admit that we fucking love Skid Row still. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a very strange early 90s vibe, and that late 90s was like a fun, badass fucking time. And all these, like I said, the Real Big and the Tony Hawk stuff and all that was such a place to land. Thank goodness. I don't know. It made the 90s, a lot of stuff made the 90s pretty exceptional, but it's all post 94 for me.
Yeah.
And this genre, you know what I mean? And thank goodness it all came up together, you know, like the Tony Hawk stuff on PlayStation and Xbox, and like, I mean, that all hit at the right time, and it all helped change entertainment, I think, and for the better, obviously, for a long term.
Cool. All right, I'll hit you up with one more question because I don't want to take up any more of your time. But where do you see the future of Goldfinger?
Working on a new record right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, music and shows.
Yeah, I think, honestly, the honest answer is as long as, because John and I are the oldest guys in the band, as long as we can still get up and put on a show, there will be a Goldfinger.
Okay.
That's not a given. We're both in rough shape. I'm not going to, woe is me, but me and John, it takes a lot for us to get on stage and put on a show. Because we are not 25.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I feel ya.
So I would say as long as we can physically do it, we're going to do it.
Okay, good.
You know what I mean?
You guys look amazing out there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Just so full of energy,
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
I love you guys. I've loved you guys for a long time. And it's just such an honor to be able to do this interview. So I'm so grateful and thankful that you guys did this for us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to the shows. Thanks for giving a shit about what we do.
Don't listen to this guy as if he's going to slow down. You know, Grateful Dead was playing until they're 100 years old.
Yeah,
We're going to be
seats.
wheeling this motherfucker out.
Do it.